Grand Rising, top of the top. What's up? Get up. Hello. What's up, you guys? Welcome to the MACleansingM Podcast, where I talked about just ways that the Black and Brown community needs to heal on different levels, mentally, spiritually, physically, emotionally, verbally, economically, culturally, all of the different ways that we need to heal together as a community. But first, our disclaimer. Y'all know here at Macam, sometimes things that we talk about can be a little controversy, and you may not agree, or it might trigger something, or and if you don't agree, or if something I say triggers something inside of you, before you come jumping down my throat and jumping down my neck, I just ask that you evaluate that, and then come holler at me and we could talk about it then. But with that being said, I'm gonna check in. I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I just got home a little less than 4 hours ago. So I just got home, so that's causing my tardiness this morning. But it's okay because I just got home, so it's already been a good Sunday. I had a good Saturday. I had a cool week last week. The Miss Missouri pageant is this Saturday, and I'm super excited about that. So I'm tapping in. I'm doing good. I'm straight. But yeah, on to today, guys. First, let me give y'all my tea bag message. It says, one who brings happiness to others will find it. Yes, one who brings happiness to others will find it. But with that being said, today I'm just talking about forgiveness, what it means to forgive, why we should forgive, all of these things. You feel me? Like, so for me, forgiveness had always been hard. I really just started to forgive. In the near recent years, I started to forgive. And that's because I always felt like I never really understood forgiveness. It's like, somebody says or does something to you, then if there was damage done, then it was already done. It's kind of how I feel about, like, that's how I used to feel about it. If somebody did or said something, then what's the point of apologizing, because the damage is already done? And then, growing up and getting older and realizing that it's deeper than that. Forgiveness really is never about the other person. It's really just about for you. Forgiveness is for self. Forgiveness is for self, because if you don't forgive other people for the wrong that they do to you, then you're going to hold that inside of you, and it's going to carry around with you, and it's going to cause bitterness and anger and strife. And it's like holding a grudge, and there's nothing healthy about holding a grudge at all. Top of the top to my viewers, I hope you're gonna tap in with me. I'm just talking about forgiveness, what it means to forgive, why we should forgive, what forgiveness means, specifically. So, to me, what forgiveness means is that it's for self growth and self healing. Now, it's that forgive and don't forget, right? When somebody does something to you or says something to you, and it makes you feel some type of way, or it hurts your feelings, or it causes strife within the relationship, you don't want to forget stuff like that. You want to try to note take that and remember it and bookmark it, so that you can remember you don't ever want to be treated like that again. But also, in that, you got to remember, if it made you feel some type of way, then you got to be careful and diligent and not treating somebody else that same way, because it's going to make them feel some type of way too. If it made you feel some type of way, of course it's going to make somebody else feel some type of way. But okay, let me see. Let me tap in with y'all. Boom, 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 boom. So I got, why we should forgive and why we should forgive is, like I was saying, it's that self-growth. It's forgiveness is really for self. It's not for the other person that you got to forgive. It's just so that you can heal, you can move forward, you could go on, and you don't have to hold that in you. And you don't. It's that energy. You allow somebody who's done something to you for, like, if you don't forgive them every time they walk into the room or you get around their presence, it's gonna bug you and bother you, and that's the energy that you don't need to carry around with you. It's gonna bring you down. You feel me? That's that misery loves company. And when should we forgive? For me, this one is like, it depends on the situation, but when we should forgive, I'm trying to, get to a point of like mediation, but it's when you're ready. It's when you're ready to not, hold that anger or that hurt inside of you anymore. It's when you're ready. So I'm gonna go ahead and give my, example here. My relationship with my father, like, that was, well, he's one person who I have had to forgive on multiple occasions and have never really received an apology from, and those are sometimes the hardest people to forgive. But it is for self, right? Like, I could name a gazillion of things that my dad should apologize for in causing the hurt and pain and strife that he has onto, my life, my siblings' lives. Things that I'm sure he knows and aware of, but it has never really apologized for. And so those things that a parent does that really truly hurts and traumatizes a child, we be needing apologies for that. We, like, I don't care. We just be needing apologies. Like, it's understood that there is no rule book or guidebook to parenting, but when you do wrong. And if your children tell you you do wrong, or that you're hurting them with your words or your actions, and you should take heed to that and try to change your ways for that. So it's the forgiveness you have to give to the people who don't apologize. That's really, really a hard one. But again, it's for self. It's for self, right? Because with forgiveness, when we should forgive, in the Bible, it says 7 times, 70 times. Like, you're never supposed to stop forgiving. You're supposed to forgive, forgive, forgive. And, as I grow older and go deeper into my spirituality, I know that God forgives. God forgives, God forgives, God forgives for the things that we done. So I know, for me getting kicked out of school and going through that whole process and of fighting those felonies and all of that, like, that was my discipline for my disobedience to my parents, both my mother and my father. Although my dad didn't really do too much in or can't really, take too much credit for the success that I'm becoming. But he's still my father at the end of the day, and I have a due diligence to respect him as so. And so, because, there's been oftentimes where I have discarded and dished out disrespect to my dad, I know, and my mom, I know that that's the whole situation I went through was because of my disobedience. And I had to go through that, and I had to, but God forgave me. And in that, that's a huge testimony for me, because I was fighting 2 felonies, got kicked out of school. I really just saw my life going like downhill. And God allowed me to walk away from that situation with a diversion. And if anybody don't know what a diversion is, it's, like a expungement program, I guess, it's a temporary probation that you get on for a short period of time. You got to do a community service, you got to pay a fine, sometimes you have to take a class, and then, after you complete all of the requirements that they ask you to complete, they completely wipe the charges from your record. So that was a blessing, you feel me? And realizing that that was my second chance to really be able to turn my life around. And I'm in that now. Like, that's a chapter that I'm in right now, and it's a beautiful chapter to be in. But with that, I had to forgive a lot of people before I could get to this point. I had to forgive myself. I beat myself up heavily for a lot of the things that I've done that caused my life to turn on a different shift or a different point. So I had to forgive myself, and self-forgiveness is so critical to growth and health. Because if you can't forgive yourself, you're definitely going to have a hard time forgiving other people around you. And then, I had to forgive my mom. I had to forgive my dad. I had to forgive my siblings. Like, it's just a lot of forgiveness that had to go around in order for me to get to a place of internal peace. It's the internal peace. And it slowly, started to happen over time. For me, I knew it was working once I realized my dimples were coming back. Because I was born with beautiful deep dimples, and as time grew on and grew and went on, fighting depression. And I fought depression from the time I was 10 to, I'm really coming out of it, but like a constant flow of depression. I would say it was like 10 to 16, 17-ish, where it was just like nonstop depression, just going on and on and on. So, I had to, go back to those points in my life and look at who I have to forgive and why I'm forgiving. And so, that's a little bit on a deeper level, but on a little kind of small level. So when I was in high school, right, because I just started to forgive, diligently, maybe like 2019. Yeah. So like when I was in high school, I always had an authority issue, always get into it with the teachers or whatever. I remember one time I had got into it with this one teacher, and our dean, had wanted me to apologize. And I was like, for what? What am I apologizing for? I said what I said, and I meant what I said, and the damage is already done. I ain't got nothing else to say to him. He ain't got nothing else to say to me. We could go on and move on about our day. And back then, I went to Denver South High School, so our dean was, Coach Fletcher. And Fletcher always used to, talk to me and give, just big game to me. Big game to me a little bit about what life was going to be like after I graduated high school. I think so oftentimes as teenagers, we know that there's life after high school. But we don't know what life is after high school. And so Fletch was trying to put me on game to that and, help me out. And I appreciate that, because when I look back on that, it was like he was really spitting game to me. Like, forgiveness, an apology can go a very, very long way. Like, you have no idea what an apology can do for a person. Sometimes an apology, can rekindle certain relationships that need to be rekindled. I'm talking about like family relationships or friendship relationships. Like, sometimes some people, all they're waiting for is an I apologize. I'm sorry. Sometimes that's all it takes to heal, is just to say I apologize to somebody or I'm sorry to somebody. But like with authenticity, I think learning how to apologize is real critical too, because you can't just apologize without it being real. Like, we as people, we know when somebody's apology is genuine and when it's not. We know bullshit, I'm sorry, when we get one. So if you want people to forgive you with intent and diligence, then you gotta be apologetic with diligence and intent. You just got to, like, you can't really go around that. Forgiveness, And it's hard because, like you think of like, if somebody get me, I gotta get them back. It's a mentality. It's a strong mentality. If somebody do something to me, I gotta do something to them to get them back for what they done did to me. Because you're not gonna just do anything to me. And that is what's really hard, because like you want to treat people how you want to be treated, but if people treat you bad, then it's hard to not treat them bad too. Like for me, it's not like that's why forgiveness has always been such a hard deal for me. Like I remember as a little girl being told that I need to say sorry or apologize. I would shut down, like clock out completely. Like mm-mm, 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 mm-mm. And realizing the older I get that bitterness that just holds inside of you, it comes out at weird random times. That bitterness will come up out of you, and it'll attack somebody that is not even meant to attack. And that's what needs to be controlled. We don't want the anger and strife and hurt that we have inside of us to attack the wrong people. And when you don't forgive, it can be misplaced. It could be misjudged. And somebody who ain't got nothing to do with your anger or bitterness can steer you the wrong way. And now you're finna take everything out on them, and they don't deserve that. They don't deserve that. They don't deserve that at all. So it's like, why is forgiveness hard? To my viewers, thank y'all for tapping in with me. I'm just talking about forgiveness. If y'all want to tap in with me and let me know, like, y'all standpoint on forgiveness. This question here, why is forgiveness so hard? And for me, forgiveness used to be so hard because of that, the damage is already done. I used to not even accept apologies. That's how deep it was for me. I used to not even accept apologies. Like, you said what you said. You did what you did. I felt how I felt. And it is what it is. I can't take back my feelings for how I felt about a situation. You can't take back your words. You can't take back your actions. So that's why forgiveness used to be so hard for me, because the damage was already done. The damage is already done. So what is your apology going to do for me? That's why forgiveness used to be hard for me. And I had to realize that whether you realize it or not, when somebody apologizes to you and you accept it and you offer forgiveness within your heart, peace enters the body and bitterness exits the body. And you don't even realize it sometimes. Like you don't even realize it sometimes. You find yourself forgiving people and just letting shit go. You got to forgive people and just let shit go. Don't forget about it. Don't forget about it, right? But forgive people and let shit go. And if you got to let people go too, then you got to let people go. It is what it is. It's not wrong with letting people go. Sometimes it's important for you to do for your health. I got one whole side of my family I had to delete off of Facebook because I had to realize we're not friends. We're not friends. We not supporters of each other. We not business partners. You feel me? Y'all not helping me make no money. I be trying to help y'all make no money, but it's just never reciprocated. So it's like I deleted a whole side of my family, and it's like I'll never be able to change the fact that we're family, we're related, but we don't need to be friends on Facebook, because how I feel about it is I feel y'all are preying on my downfall, and I don't need nobody who's preying on my downfall to be watching me on social media as if we are friends. And we are not friends. We are not supporters. We are not business partners. We are none of the above. And so therefore, we don't need to have each other on social media just to watch each other's pages. That was a part of forgiveness that I had to do. I had to silently forgive a whole side of my family for showing no condolences or love or sympathy or anything when my grandfather died. That was kind of hard. That was kind of a hard pill to swallow. Like, my grandfather's y'all's brother, uncle, cousin, and me and my moms can't even get no sympathy or no condolences or anything from any of y'all. So it's like, I have to forget, it is what it is. Y'all are who y'all are, but I am who I am. So in order for me to be peacefully incorporated with the family, I had to let y'all go and delete them off of Facebook. But I had to forgive them for their lack of sympathy in the death of my grandfather. I had to realize that y'all are just that sorry. And it sucks to say that, but it is what it is. It is what it is, because I know for a fact I would have never, ever, ever treated my family the way that they treated me and my mom at the time of my grandfather's death. Never. Would have never did them like that. But I had to forgive them for them doing us like that. Because holding that in me ain't going to do nothing for me. And holding that in me ain't going to do nothing for me. So I had to just go ahead and let it go. I think, though, the most beautiful thing about forgiveness is forgiveness of self. You can forgive yourself. You could look at the mirror and say, you could actually point out where you went wrong, your flaws, the negative impact, all of that. You could look at the mirror and yourself and say, like, this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong, but I'm working on it. I forgive you for the pain from the past. And I thank you for working on the future. We all fall short of the glory of God. All of us. But it's when you forgive that you can see like that light at the end of the tunnel. You can see that light at the end of the tunnel. And I think it's beautiful with forgiveness that it really don't have nothing to do with the other person. Sometimes you don't even have to let them know that you forgave them. You just forgive in your heart and call it a day and keep it pushing. Sometimes people don't even know they need to be forgiven. Sometimes they don't even realize that they owe somebody an apology. Sometimes people don't even know when they need to be forgiven. And I'm going to publicly apologize to anybody, to any and everybody who has, addressed me in our adulthood and told me that I was a bully in our youth. I'm going to publicly apologize. I've already apologized in my heart to everybody, but I'm going to publicly apologize here on my platform to anybody who I may have been a bully to growing up in our youth. That's some real shit. I'd be having people tell me now, like, yeah, you was mean, you was a bully, you used to do this, and my intent was never to hurt anybody or anything like that. I just got tough skin. I just got tough skin. So that's a healing process too. Like, I know people now, still my mom's generation, that is holding grudges with her from when they were like 10. They were like 10. Like, there's people right now who won't do business with my mom to make money because she took their boyfriend when they were like 12. You gotta forgive people and let shit go. You can't be holding on to stuff from 10 and 15, 20 years ago. It's gonna hold you down. And honestly, you shouldn't be mad at nobody who's trying to help you put money in your pockets. You can't be mad at nobody that's trying to help you put money in your pockets. And so if you got it that bad where you could hold grudges enough where you're gonna allow money to walk by you, that's a problem within itself. That's a problem within itself. Should be about your paper. If somebody is willing or has the means to help you increase your dollar amount, your income amount, but you holding a grudge with them from 10 years ago, because, and this is a real life example, my cousin's example, he got somebody, a woman who's holding a grudge with him from like 15-20 years ago, from when they was in elementary school. She told him that, don't you remember when you pulled the chair from underneath me? And he was like, yeah, but we was like 8. And she hung up on, she was like, yeah, she was like, I ain't never forgot about that, and clicked him and hung up on him. Like, whoa, you gotta let stuff go. You gotta, certain things you can't hold on to forever. It's gonna hold you back. And honestly, I'm not gonna let nothing hold me back if it's gonna include making money. If it's gonna include making money, like I'm watching now, like in this business that me and my mom is in, and trying to get people to increase their income amount. It's crazy how many people turn away money for grudges from 10, 15, 20 years ago. I don't want to be like that. I don't want to be like that. I don't want to hold that in my heart. When I was holding the grudges that I had against my father, when I was holding them grudges, I was not in a healthy place. I was not in a healthy place. I was in a very, uncomfortable place. It was just holding that grudge. And it's like, I have to deal with this man. I have a 12-year-old brother, and then I have my nieces as well, who all deal with the man. And so, it was getting to a point where, I would see my dad and walk by him and not speak, pretend like I ain't know what Kiki Papa. I don't know this man. I ain't never even seen this man. I feel sorry for this man. Sorry to this man. That's how I used to treat my dad. Like, I walk right by him like I don't look just like him and I don't have his face. That's how bad it was. That's how bad it was. I would just walk right by this man as if I ain't never met the man a day in my life. Ain't never even seen him. I was holding a lot of bitterness and anger inside of me. And it was a problem. Like, it was a problem. People, for me, it got to a point where I was telling people that he due to die. Because I just didn't want people asking me about him no more. Like, don't ask me about this man. So I was at a point where I was telling people he died. And that was not okay. Especially because I was telling people, they was like, people who knew I wasn't, who knew I was lying. I'm gonna be like, he died. He died. Yeah. And I really had to come up out of that. I really, really had to come in. But that was the level of a hurt and bitterness that I had inside of me. That's the level it was on. And now that I done forgave the man, and for me, because still I have yet to receive an apology for him for any of the pain that he's caused. However, I am back talking to him because I forgave him for myself. I forgave him for myself. That's what it was. I didn't forgive him for anybody else. I forgave him for myself because I didn't want to continuously hold that in me. I didn't want, as I'm working on being a better woman for the baby girls in my life, my family. I have 3 nieces and a baby sister. And though I always say I'm not interested in being nobody's role model, I'm by default their role model. And I don't want them watching me have that type of bitterness and anger inside of me, even from a young age. I don't want them seeing that. I want them to see just light shining from me so that their light always shines from them. So it was a lot of things that I had to think about and evaluate and be like, damn, how can we change this? And it was really just forgiveness. It was really just saying to myself, you know what? People are who people are going to be. I can't change people. I can't convince people to be anybody else. I can't be good for anybody else. I can only do it for myself. So once I realized that I can only be G, I can't be anybody else. And it's my happiness that I have to focus on and worry about. That forgiveness came easy. It was like, cool, I don't mind forgiving. I'm gonna go ahead and boom, 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 forgive. Because I want to be happy and I want to have my peace and my sanity. I don't want to have a long list of people. The list used to be long too. I'm telling y'all, have a long list of people that I plan on getting revenge against. I don't want to have that. I don't want my nieces growing up thinking that it's okay to hold grudges and hold bitterness inside of them. I don't want them being like that. I don't want them doing that. So therefore I had to do some changing within myself. Yeah, I had to do some changing within myself to get to that healing place. So now that I'm there, I don't want to leave it either. I don't want to leave this healing place. I love the healing place. I love it here. I love the healing place. The healing place is dope. It's a dope place to be in. The healing place allows you to get home at 4 o'clock in the morning and wake up 4 hours later and keep it pushing and keep it going. The healing place allows you to smile. You smile at any, like this dude told me the other day when I was at the barbershop getting my hair cut. He was like, "You smiling?" I said, "I'm always smiling." And he said, "That's good." He said, "That's a beautiful energy to have." The healing place, you laugh, you find stuff funny that you ain't never really found funny before. You just find the humor in things. You find the humor in life. The healing place. The healing place is just such a peaceful place to be. When you're in the healing place, I think you can recognize what needs to be healed in other areas too. And that's when you need to drill in and focus on what you need to heal. And what I needed to heal for me was working on forgiveness and apologizing. The healing place also, you got to be able to admit when you're wrong. And even if you're not wrong, but it's about recognizing when you've hurt somebody. Recognizing when you've hurt somebody. I had to learn that, sometimes I say stuff in a manner that is very disheartening and can really hurt people's feelings sometimes. And I didn't realize that all the time. I didn't always realize that. So that apologizing, sometimes you don't realize that things you say or you're doing is hurting people, but you gotta apologize. You gotta apologize to get forgiveness. You gotta apologize to get forgiveness. Yeah, you gotta apologize to get forgiveness. Like, if you want people to forgive you, then you gotta be forgivable. You gotta ask people for their forgiveness too when you do wrong. But you gotta recognize that, and I think that's the thing. And so with learning how to communicate in general with people, learning how to communicate, is recognizing when you're wrong. Recognizing when you are in the wrong, and then accepting that you were in the wrong and owning up that you were in the wrong. And sometimes you might not even be wrong, but the way you came across to somebody, it might have rubbed them wrong a little bit and hurt their feelings. And hurt people, and I don't want to hurt people. I don't want to hurt people. So it's like I try to watch what I say and how I say things. I try to do that, but it's a process. It's definitely a process. It's not an overnight thing. I've been working on my forgiveness since I was in high school. I've been working on trying to learn how to forgive and apologize since I was like 16, 17 years old. It's how long I've been working on it. But then I really started doing it Like 2019, because 2018, let me tell you, 2018 is the year I got kicked out of school, went to jail, and now I'm fighting 2 felonies. So 2018 was like, what the fuck for me? And so, it was a lot of things, and some people that played a role in that situation in my life that I was just holding hate in my heart for, myself included. So I had to forgive myself from that situation. I had to forgive other people for that, other person, that was involved in that situation, with me, or why I even got caught up in that situation, whatever. It was just, some things I had to forgive from that situation. Um, and But 2018, I took all that bitter and angerness I had inside of me for the situation even occurring out on so many people. On so many people, I took that bitterness and anger and hurt out on. And you know, 2018 was rough for me. Like I was not myself in 2018. I was somebody completely different in 2018 because of how hurt I was. And then 2019, I was realizing that I don't want to be that person. I don't want to be in that hurt. 2018 woke up a demon inside of me that I was like, I don't want that bitch to ever come back out. I don't want her to ever come back out, but because she came out and boy, she did damage. She did damage. I hurt so many people in 2018. I hurt so many people in 2018. It was crazy. I didn't even know I had that power inside of me, and I hurt so many people in 2018. And in 2019, I was like, damn, I don't want to do that to nobody. I don't want to cause that type of damage to nobody, because that is the damage that was caused to me. That's the damage that was caused to me, and I don't like that shit. So I don't want to do that to nobody else. So I had to learn how to apologize. I had to learn how to apologize. Like, damn, I did not mean to hurt you. I did not mean to offend you. I did not mean, and even in the times where I do mean it, it's that I apologize for hurting your feelings, but I meant what I said, and I need you to feel me. Like it. So when I realized in 2019 that I didn't want to be hurt anymore, I had to realize that I didn't want to hurt other people anymore either. That's the thing. It's like, yeah, I don't want this shit being done to me, but I also have to not want to be done to other people either. It's that golden rule. Treat people the way you want to be treated. Respect is given when it's earned. Respect is given when it's earned, and so is disrespect. But as I grow and get older, I gotta come to the respectable terms that not every action deserves a reaction. And sometimes I react when I don't need to react, and it'll cause a situation to escalate and be more than what it is. So I had to learn that I just don't want to be hurt like that no more. I don't want to be hurt like that no more. I don't want to be put down. I don't want to have my light stolen away from me. I don't want to have my fire put out. I don't want none of that shit to happen to me, because I want to be able to shine so bright that I blind everybody every time I come through. And I can't do that when there's bitterness and hurt and anger building up inside of me. And when you don't forgive, everything just like piles on top of each other until you bust and you can't hold it in anymore. And I was like me for a very long time. I just bottle shit up, bottle. And that's because I wasn't taught properly on how to effectively communicate and deal with my emotions. And that's something that we need to, kind of change our ways, and we need to teach youth more effective manners on how to sort out their emotions and deal with their emotions. Because humans in general are emotional beings. The female specimen more so than the male specimen. However, we all carry emotions. So when we don't learn how to recognize and communicate those, because honestly, like it's kind of hard to control your feelings. But if you could recognize how you're feeling and communicate how you're feeling, then you can work on controlling how you feeling. And oftentimes we can't even recognize how the fuck we feel. We can't even recognize it. Sometimes we confuse anger with sadness. We confuse confusion with anger. We confuse our emotions sometimes, and that's the problem. We need to learn how to recognize how we feeling and then communicate that. Communicate that out. This is how I feel. This is how I feel. We have to learn how to allow people to communicate their feelings to us the way they need. The way they need. Just because somebody's tone of voice gets a little louder or aggressive, they might need that right then and there. They might need that. And we as people need to learn how to allow people to get their feelings out the way that they need to. Now, there's a respectful manner that it needs to be done, because you're not going to disrespect me. However, it's important that we learn how to communicate how we feel. That shit didn't make me feel good. 2018 did not make me feel good. 2018 was dark. 2018 was dark. It was so dark in 2018 for me. And because it was so dark for me, I was making sure I made it dark for everybody else. For everybody else who came into my path, like, you feel me? We're all gonna be pissed around here. Every last one of us, everybody, we all gonna be angry. And that wasn't cool. And I had to realize that. So that demon that I woke up in 2018, I also had to put back to sleep. It took some time to do that. It definitely took some time in putting that demon back to sleep. But once I did, I be telling people all the time, please don't wake her. Please do not wake her, because I don't like her. I do not like her at all. I don't. I like smiling, I like being happy. I like giving love, and I like just, being in a peaceful place. I love that shit. I love that shit. It's a beautiful and a great thing about it. It really is a beautiful and a great thing about just being in a peaceful place. Once I laid those demons to bed, it was just like, stay asleep, please, because y'all did damage. Y'all did so much damage. And, when damage is caused, you gotta clean that shit up. You gotta clean that shit up. It gotta be cleaned up. And so the amount of damage I caused in 2018, I still ain't cleaned it all the way up. I'm still, there's still some broken glass a little bit over there, some dirt I gotta sweep up from over there. It's not all the way cleaned up yet, but I'm working on this. A work in progress. Don't nothing happen overnight, right? So yeah, but with that, I learned that who am I to not forgive? Right? Who am I to not forgive? If God can forgive me over and 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 over, why can I not forgive? Why is it hard for me to forgive? It shouldn't be. It shouldn't be. I should just be able to let shit go and drop it. We should all be able to just let shit go and drop it. Let me tell y'all. My lower back. Oh, she's killing me, y'all. My lower back is killing me. Oh, but that is the signs that I had a good night. Okay, mind y'all. I'm telling y'all again, I just got home maybe about 5 hours ago, 5.5 hours ago. So yeah, you know, I had a good night. It was dope. I love it out here. I do. I love it. I love it. I love it out here. It's another piece of my healing process. You know, one of the things that I had to do to make it easy for me to forgive is I had to move away from the people I needed to forgive. I had to be like separated from them for a time being, a period of time, to even be acceptive of their role in my life, if that makes sense. You know, I had to, in order to be acceptive of their role in my life, I had to like kind of distance myself away from them. And so one of the things, a part of my healing process was moving to Kansas City, Missouri. Yeah, it's just it's not too far away from home. If I ever need to come back, you know, I'll hop on I-70 and I'm there. But you know, it definitely was a healing process for me to get away and kind of just see my home city from the outsider's view looking in. From the outsider's view looking in. And to be quite honest, you know, I needed that. I needed to leave to know if I ever needed to come back, or if I ever even wanted to come back. I needed to leave to separate myself from the people that had contributed to my pain, and to the pain that I had contributed to others. And it's crazy because in this, I'm realizing, like in talking about this, I'm realizing that there's some people that I owe some apologies to, that I'm kind of hold off on just because of pride. Like pride will really hold you up from apologizing to somebody. Like pride will really just put the, you know, like stop you. Like, nah, I ain't offering no apology because they did what they did. They said what they said. I felt how I felt. The damage is done, and it is what it is. So that pride will really stop you from, you know, offering out apologies to people. But as I'm, you know, sitting here dealing with y'all, talking to y'all or whatever, I'm realizing, you know, you forgive people, and like I said earlier, if you gotta let them go, let them go. If you gotta let them go, let them go. And sometimes you don't. Sometimes people don't have to know that you forgave them, but and sometimes people don't even know that they need to forgive you. Ooh. Sometimes people don't even know that they need to forgive you. Like sometimes there's something inside of you that's bothering you. You feel like you need to apologize to somebody for it, and they didn't already forgave you. They didn't already forgave you. They didn't already forgave you. But sometimes it's also part of the healing process. It feels good to apologize and get it off your chest and be like, I owned up to that. I owned up to that. That was real, and I owned up to it. And I apologized for it. And I meant it from the bottom of my heart, and can't nobody take that away from you if you are genuine in your apologies. If you are genuine in your apologies, that's just real. It is what it is. If you don't know how to apologize, some tips, you know, is just a simple recognizing when you have hurt somebody, and it's a simple, I apologize for hurting you. I apologize for hurting you. If you don't know how to forgive, you know, it's that one for me, it took prayer. It took prayer to get me to learn how to forgive. I had to really pray about that and ask God to help me accept forgiveness from others. I had to learn how to accept forgiveness from others, because just because somebody apologized doesn't mean that I'm not still hurt. But I had to learn, if somebody apologizes, then forgive them and let it go. Don't forget about it, so that way you never have to get treated like that again, but forgive them and let it go. Apologize and forgive. Sometimes those apologies will lead to second chances, and sometimes they lead to the end of a relationship, and either is fine. Either is fine. It's about what's important for you and your health and your growth. Being down in this country, boy. Being down in the country. I love it here though. I do. Not so much that it'll keep me away from my home though, because I love my hometown. I love my city, baby. I'm a 5280 girl. I'm a 5280 girl. That's my hometown. That's my love. And Denver is always where it's gonna be at. Always. But it's also where my PTSD is, and my trauma and my pain, and I need to heal from that. I needed to heal from that. That's why I had to leave it. But that's okay, because it's gonna help me when I come back, I'm gonna be ready to dominate. I'm gonna be ready to dominate. It's just some people that I had to leave and get away from, because of the apologies they owed to me, and I knew I wasn't gonna get, and I was gonna act the ass until I got them. And that's not cool. That's not cool. I had to put those demons to bed, because baby, I was gonna act the ass until I got every apology I deserve. But sometimes you gotta accept people's apologies that they never even gave to you. You gotta accept those apologies that they never even gave to you, and that's like the golden nugget there, right? But to my viewers, thank y'all. To those who tapped in, y'all know Mother's Day is coming up around the corner. Y'all know Mother's Day will be here sooner than late, so I want to make sure y'all get y'all's Mother's Day gifts. Y'all know we got this bad girl right here. And she matches this bad girl right here. Y'all see how this match? You feel me? Get your mama the purse in the pearl set. Bam. Do that. Of course we got most stuff as well. But I definitely wanted to show y'all that set to show, because that's just cute. And then also make sure, you feel me, get y'all's Mother's Day gifts. Get y'all's Mother's Day gifts. Don't skip out on Mom Dukes, Grandma Dukes, Auntie Dukes, Big Sister Dukes, whoever it is that y'all have to, go ahead and get y'all's gifts for. Y'all make sure that y'all go ahead and get y'all's Mother's Day gifts. Y'all go ahead and tap in with me and get these young Mother's Day gifts. You feel me? But with that being said, y'all go out and y'all forgive somebody and apologize to somebody this week. That's it. Just go out, forgive somebody and apologize to somebody this week. And we be on. That's all you gotta do. Just learn how to apologize and learn how to forgive. That's what it is. That's what it is learning how to apologize and learning how to forgive. But with that being said, that was the Make a Cleanse Move podcast for this Sunday. Yeah, I hope y'all have a beautiful Sunday. A beautiful, beautiful Sunday. And make sure y'all follow us on everything we got. You feel me? Our Make a Chess Move page, our Make a Culture Move page, our virtual art of storytelling page. You feel me? Which we are on pause with this until the fall time. But you feel me? If you know anybody who got a testimony or a story that they want to share, and tell the youth about how they made it to where they are right now in life, we would love to hear them. We would love to hear them. And then we also got the Macam Pushing Pawns. We got our makeachessmove.org, where you can scroll down on there and find the donations tab, and you feel me, donate to our nonprofit organization. Y'all know what we do here, or send somebody our way. Make sure y'all subscribe to our YouTube channel at Macam303. Add us on Facebook at Macam303 and the Instagram at Macam303. We also got that Twitter thing and that Pinterest thing. And then y'all know me. You feel me? Check me out on my Facebook page of Gems for Queens, jewelry and accessories. And check me out on my Instagram. You feel me? Gems for Queens. You feel me? You can get your Mother's Day stuff. Let me know what it is that you need, what you want. I can ship it to you. We can do it like that. But with that being said, y'all have a beautiful Sunday. Y'all Malcolm out there. And I will see y'all tomorrow when me and Mark come at you with Make a Culture Move. You feel me? 1 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, 2 p.m. Central Standard Time. And yeah, y'all have a beautiful week.